stop what you're doing, because Scottish football has just gone full soap opera. Rangers manager hunt takes a bizarre twist with Davide Ancelotti's name, causing shockwaves from Ibrox to Milan. Over at Celtic, it is transfer chaos. They are sweating over Tyrhys Dolan, hailed as a dream £10 million holder replacement, while Greg Taylor drops a cryptic hint that could signal the end of an era. Rabbi Matondo is coming back to Rangers after a failed loan move and a £1 million clause getting binned. And then there is Kyogo, whose French nightmare has cost Rennes an eye-watering £83,000 for every single minute he played. 93% of you watching aren't subscribed yet. That's mental. It's completely free, takes 2 seconds, and you'll never miss the biggest stories in Scottish football. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a brand new SPFL shirt of your team. If you're subscribed, you're in the draw. Simple as that. Right. Let us dive into the swirling saga at Ibrox, where the whispers are turning into roars, and the name on everyone's lips is Ancelotti. No, not that Ancelotti, the other one, Davide, the son, the apprentice, the lad who has been rubbing shoulders with football royalty under his dad's wing, now apparently set to lead the rebuild of Rangers under the American feud regime. Now, hold your horses. While the media in Madrid and Milan are already engraving his name on the office door, the truth is a wee bit more complicated. According to the latest inside scoop, this is far from a done deal. Despite the buzz and all the backroom chatter about Davide Ancelotti and his Real Madrid right-hand man Francesco Mori signing 3-year contracts, the folks who actually make the decisions at Ibrox, Patrick Stewart, Kevin Thelwell, and the 49ers' very own Greeter Steinson, have not even wrapped up their candidate list yet, let alone started formal interviews. So why the rush to make it sound like Ancelotti Jr. has already booked his train to Glasgow Central? Well, some reckon there might be a touch of family influence at play. Maybe, just maybe, Don Carlo is quietly pulling some strings behind the scenes to tee up the next chapter for his boy. After all, a surname like Ancelotti does carry a bit of clout. But hang on a minute. We are talking about putting a 35-year-old with zero managerial experience in charge of one of the most pressurized jobs in British football. That is not just a gamble. That is strapping a blindfold on and throwing darts at a dartboard spinning at 100 miles an hour. Yes, there is no denying that Davide has learned from the best, coached world-class talent, and soaked in all the tactical genius of his old man. But coaching on the sidelines at Real Madrid is a very different beast from leading a full-blown rebuild at Rangers, with Celtic already galloping ahead in the title race and the pressure cooker of Glasgow ready to boil over at the first slip-up. And do not forget, some board members might already be feeling a bit red-faced if this public frenzy is seen as an orchestrated move by Team Ancelotti to strong-arm their way into the manager's seat. That is not exactly the kind of debut you want at a club that demands results yesterday. Sure, you can point to Walter Smith, who stepped up without prior experience and became a legend. But Walter Smith knew the club inside out, had the dressing room, the culture, the street smarts of Scottish football. Ancelotti would be landing blind, relying on YouTube highlights and second-hand anecdotes. It is not about whether he can succeed. It is about how much risk Rangers are willing to take, especially when the American investors will be expecting returns, not experiments. So here is the real kicker, and this is where I want to hear from you, the true football brains out there. If Rangers end up appointing Davide Ancelotti, is it a masterstroke of forward-thinking genius? Or are they just getting seduced by a famous surname and signing up for a very expensive lesson in wishful thinking? Drop your thoughts below. Over to the green side of Glasgow, where things are looking a little complicated. On the one hand, Celtic are eyeing a new winger. On the other, they might be waving goodbye to one of their most reliable lads at the back. It is transfer season, folks, where every emoji is a potential bombshell. First up, Tyrhys Dolan, the Blackburn Rovers flyer who has had himself a tidy wee season down in the Championship. 7 goals, 6 assists, and now the vultures are circling. Both Celtic and Rangers are sniffing around, hoping to snap him up on a free. Classic Glasgow, right? One club wants him, the other cannot resist jumping in just to make it interesting. Now, the twist here is that Dolan is not exactly rushing things. He is heading off on holiday to reflect, meditate, possibly sip something fruity with a tiny umbrella in it. Before deciding whether to stick with Blackburn or chase a bigger paycheck elsewhere, his manager, Valerian Ismail, is trying to play it cool. Says they love him, want to keep him, all that usual chat, but even he knows it will come down to who flashes the bigger number. More minutes, bigger league, fatter wallet. That is the modern game in a nutshell. But while the Celtic board are eyeing Dolan, the fans are glued to their phones, trying to decode Greg Taylor's Instagram activity. Yep, we are in cryptic territory now. Taylor's had his trainers cleaned at Box Fresh for years, and suddenly the shop posts a sentimental message. Taylor replies with a teary-eyed emoji and a heart, and the whole of Parkhead holds its breath. The left back has been a steady presence through 6 trophy-packed seasons, and now, just weeks away from his contract running out, this little online exchange has sparked panic. Is he staying? Or is it just a man showing appreciation for a well-scrubbed pair of Nikes? What we do know is that Taylor's deal is up soon, and so far, no new contract has been confirmed. That kind of silence usually speaks louder than words. If he is planning a quiet exit, this could be a big blow for Brendan Rodgers, especially with the defense already in need of a summer touch-up. If Celtics sign Tyrhys Dolan, but lose Greg Taylor in the same window, is that really a step forward? Or is it just shuffling the deck and hoping nobody notices the backline's about to wobble? Rabbi Matondo is packing his bags for a return to Glasgow, but do not expect a welcome parade at Ibrox. After an injury-hampered loan at Hannover, the German club has politely declined the chance to make his stay permanent, opting not to trigger the £1 million clause baked into the deal. So now, with just 1 year left on his Rangers contract, the Welsh winger finds himself right back where he started. Let us not sugarcoat it. Matondo's time at Rangers has been a stop-start affair, mostly stop. 6 league appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists, and more time in the treatment room than on the pitch. Things looked briefly promising when he made his debut in Germany and even grabbed a goal. But then, as has been the pattern, injury struck and momentum fizzled. 10 appearances, 1 goal, 0 assists. Not exactly the kind of stats that get you fast-tracked into any future plans. And here is where things get tricky. With the 49ers hovering like corporate hawks and planning their Ibrox investment revolution, every spare penny in every squad slot will be under review. There is no room for sentiment and no room for passenger. Rangers are heading for a summer clear-out, and Matondo looks like a prime candidate for the exit door. Let us be honest, it is not personal, it is just business. If there is any market interest, now is the time to cash in. Otherwise, he risks becoming another case of wasted wages and wasted time at a club that can no longer afford either. Should Rangers give Matondo one last chance to prove himself, or has he already had more than enough chances and it is time to cut losses for good? Well, would you believe it? Kyogo Furuhashi, once the darling of Parkhead, has gone from goal machine to forgotten man in record time. Rennes shelled out £10 million in January to bring the Japanese star to League One, expecting fireworks. What they got instead was a very expensive spectator. Let us break this down, shall we? 120 minutes played. That is barely more than a full match and a half. 5 months at the club. A total cost of £10 million. Quick bit of maths. That works out to a jaw-dropping £83,333 for every minute Kyogo has played in France. Now, Rennes have seen enough. They are reportedly cutting their losses and looking to shift him on in the summer, with clubs in the Bundesliga apparently circling. Meanwhile, Rennes boss Habib Beye has not exactly been handing out lifelines. Kyogo has started just once and has not been seen since mid-April. If there was a plan, it clearly went straight out the window. And here is the kicker. This is the same Kyogo who banged in 63 goals in 93 league starts for Celtic. The man was absolutely ruthless in Scotland. Clinical, clever, deadly in the box. Yet somehow, in France, he has barely been given a chance to lace up his boots. It is not just a case of bad form. He has hardly played. This move looks less like a career step and more like a footballing cautionary tale. From superstar status in Glasgow to an £83,000 per minute ghost in Rennes. It is the kind of transfer flop that makes boardrooms twitch and accountants break out in a cold sweat. Was Kyogo just a Scottish Premiership specialist who got found out in France, or did Rennes completely bottle it by not giving him a fair chance to shine? And don't forget, we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that mark, we're giving away a shirt of your favorite SPFL team to one lucky subscriber. So hit that subscribe button, drop your team in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. I post videos every day talking about our Scottish football. See you soon.